So I have a question for you guys. Have you ever taken the skills that you've obtained here in this space and applied them to trading traditional stocks? Things like Tesla, things like, I don't know, American Airlines and Delta, things like Amazon. How many of you guys have actually taken the knowledge that you have here, the skills, the pain that you have been through in this space, brought it to the other side and actually been successful? I actually know of a couple. I know of a couple, especially this year, that seems that they've made a killing, taken a small amount of money and turned it into a decent sized amount of money. Now, they didn't make fortunes. By no means did they make any fortunes, but they come out with 5 figures. You can't really complain about that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I feel like in a long enough timeline, this is all going to be one in the same. At some point, you will not be able to distinguish the difference between the crypto market and the traditional stock market. At some point, especially the way that we are trending together, I feel like they're going to be one in the same. So listen, we're going to talk about some pretty unique things today. I'm also going to talk about more extremely bullish news for Bitcoin. And it's crazy. It just keeps loading up almost every day. Okay, so there's 2 kinds of things that are happening every single day right now with Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies. One, almost every single day you can find a case opened by the US government against some sort of a crypto entity or somebody that was involved with cryptocurrency. And the case can be anything from a small, securities violation, which isn't very small, all the way up to like possible money laundering. And the other thing that you're seeing happening, okay, there's both sides of this, like a yin and a yang here, is almost every single day you are seeing more and more information coming out of more banks, more institutions, heavy hitters crossing into the cryptocurrency space, providing their outlook. And the outlooks are not bearish. While they might say certain things might be overvalued, in some cases even undervalued, ultimately the consensus is on a long enough timeline, Bitcoin is going to go insane. So listen, before we carry on any farther, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. If I can get 1,000 likes on this video, I might do something crazy like a giveaway. Oh, as a matter of fact, there's $100. $100 I need to give away real fast. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned a certain state politician who was trying to crap all over Bitcoin. And I said, if you can meme him as a bag of douche, whoever gets the best meme, I was going to give $100. Tag me on Twitter. This guy right here, Bitcoin Wanker's Vision, actually gave me the best meme. So I owe you $100. I did say I was going to give away $100. I'm sorry you had to wait so long. So here's your address right here. Let me copy this bad boy. If you look right here, this is his address sitting right here. Went ahead and plugged that into an Exodus wallet. As you can see, me move my fat head out the way. There's the same address, $100. Let me move myself out the way so you guys can see this. We're going to click send. Yes, we're sending $100. Bam, success. But yeah, if I can hit 1,000 likes today, maybe I'll do some other silly giveaway. Maybe I'll do like, I don't know, another meme giveaway or just something silly, something fun, something everyone can enjoy. All right, but listen, so we're looking at the market, and I gotta say, looking at the 4-hour chart, I do find this very, very bullish. I do suspect that over the course of the next week and a half, granted we don't see anything crazy coming from the US government or anything like that, we should see Bitcoin starting to scrape back over or scraping near $12,000 again. That's just a hunch, But anyhow, so let's talk about the bullish news. Bitcoin will surge to 1 million in 5 years by an enormous wall of money. And this is coming from a former Goldman Sachs hedge fund chief. An enormous wall of money within the next 5 years. I will say, I do feel like there's too many external elements that are in the way preventing Bitcoin from hitting that $1 million line within the next 5 years. I do believe there will be a day it'll happen. I mean, it's just math. It's going to happen. I just don't think it will happen within the next 5 years. And if you look at what the CME and the CBOE did to the price of Bitcoin in 2017, remember, they clearly stated that they were going to put Bitcoin in check. And the better Bitcoin does, the more that it gets adopted. Every time we have a halving event, They produce more paper Bitcoin. At this point, there is more paper Bitcoin in existence than there is physical Bitcoin. That does play against the price, okay? Because you do have the spot market, then you have the derivatives market, okay? So, I mean, you have two different markets here. And yes, the spot price is the actual price of Bitcoin, but the derivative market has it's a heavy weight, okay? It can be both a weight and it can both be, and rocket fuel to the spot market. So, I don't know. I'm just... $1 million, I think, is a far stretch, okay? But I do believe this big wall of money is going to come in. I do believe so, just because you see such a giant shift and a giant change of attitude when it comes to the institutional mindset of Bitcoin, primarily Bitcoin. When it comes to altcoins right now, there's a lot of ignorance and there's not a lot of hope for it in their minds. They don't even like it. And you can't really blame them, because the truth be told, when it comes to the majority of altcoins, they are nothing more than cash grabs. 90% of what you see out there that's an altcoin is a promise to deliver. And those who actually deliver on their promises, I mean, there are very, very few of them. Now, speaking of the derivative market, commodity market, as some may call it, JP Morgan says Bitcoin slightly overvalued as a commodity. Now, check this out. JP Morgan right now has been heavily weighing in on the very thing that I'm talking about right now, the derivative market versus the spot market. And they mentioned several things, certain metrics that can tell you where the price of Bitcoin may be going. And in a nutshell, in this article, one thing they mention is the fact that if the derivative market price is higher than the spot market during a time of a contract expiration, that's extremely bullish for the price of Bitcoin. If the derivative market is below spot price during a contract expiration, that's bearish. Given the current trend, given what is happening based off of the other contract expirations for this year, it has been extremely bullish. And the mainstream perception of Bitcoin right now, of it doing well, doesn't seem to have any indicators that it's going to fade. Everything right now indicates that the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. That Bitcoin is going to smash it. Okay, so I mean, this is all good news. This is all good news. And this article right here is something I suggest you read for yourselves. But I'm just summarizing what they are talking about. Things are looking very good. Now, another little metric that can hold back the price of Bitcoin, and I do actually believe this is playing a role in the price suppression of Bitcoin, is the current elections. I believe, okay, granted, you don't have to agree with me, you don't have to disagree with me. This is just me stating out my opinions on this, okay? I do believe that if the Republicans win the election, it will be good for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin environment we have right now, the Bitcoin environment we've had for the past 3 years, the environment that we've had with cryptocurrency for the past 3.5, maybe almost 4 years, has been a Republican Party Bitcoin environment. It's not been bad. As a matter of fact, it's been very profitable. It has been a very lucrative time period for a lot of us in this space. It has been a very lucrative time period for anyone in investments. As a matter of fact, if you're one of those who complies with taxes, it has also been one of the easiest times to deal with capital gains. If the Democrats win this election, okay, I strongly feel we're going to lose out on the capital gains incentives that we have. I strongly feel we're going to get over-regulated, overtaxed. I do feel this will impact the price of Bitcoin negatively. And when I say negatively, I don't think it's going to be an instant kind of thing. I think over the course of 3 to 4 years, it'll become very over-regulated, overtaxed. That's just my opinion, my thoughts. Now, speaking of price of Bitcoin and those who are trying to predict it, I've seen a lot of groups that a lot of people still play with leverage trading right now. Leverage trading is nowhere near as popular as it used to be. If you are going to play with leverage trading, I strongly suggest using a platform like PrimeXBT. Yes, they are a channel sponsor, okay? I don't get trading fees off of this. I don't do the commissions. It's a sponsored agreement that I have with them. They have been a partner with this channel now, I guess, for about 4 or 5 months, somewhere around there. Now, the thing about PrimeXBT that I like, the biggest thing, you have an A-book and a B-book exchange. The A-book does not have an insider trading desk that's trying to take your money. B-book exchanges do. They will hunt your stop losses down. They will hunt down your money. That's what they're designed to do. It's straight up hardcore gambling. A-book is still gambling, but you still have a fighting chance. Now, if you were going to do leverage trading, the thing about it is it takes a lot of time to get good at it. It takes a lot of devotion to get good at it. It's something that not very many people can do well. I'm one of them. I'm not a great leverage trader. I'm horrible at predicting short-term markets. I've made money and I've lost money. The thing I like, those are people out there who dedicate themselves to this, who make this their livelihoods, who like to make money off of this. And you can see their track records. Right here, they have a feature called copy trading. Copy trading right here, or co-vesting, allows you to follow the trades of these guys right here. And you can see what the total profits are, today's profits, their active days, followers, performance, how much liquidity they have from the providers, and their ratings. I look for two things. I look for active days, and I also look for total profits. I don't care if you're 1,000% up. How many days have you done it? What kind of followers do you have? You get what I'm saying? Number one has actually done very well for the past 48 days. I mean, you can't argue with it. It's been really impressive. Something I see as very reliable is BTC Monkey, 332%, been around for 164 days, has 1,200 followers, only has 31 Bitcoin in his, and as far as follower equity, still not bad. There's still a shit ton of money. You get what I'm saying? So there's things that I look for, but most importantly, I just don't have time to dedicate myself to being good at trading. A lot of you guys want to play. If you guys decide that you're going to play, please look at things like PrimeXBT and co-vesting, because at least you have some metrics, some form of reliable metrics to try to protect your money. Next thing up as far as crypto discussion goes is this right here. Kind of slipped through the cracks. As a matter of fact, there's earlier on Twitter, I was seeing that the team from Phantom was talking about something they were working on. It was actually Michael Chen, and he never specified what he was working on. My best guess was either one of two things: swaps or insurance. And the reason those two only made sense to me is, don't forget, the godfather of DeFi, Andre Cognier, is the guy that actually works for Phantom. You get what I'm saying? So I knew it was going to be something big like that. So Phantom has already created basically what they call their funny, the funny.exchange. I like that, funny.exchange. Basically, it's launched its own Uniswap fork, and it allows you to utilize the FTM ecosystem, or Opera. Okay, their Opera ecosystem is fast, and most importantly, it's cheap. This is a hell of a competitor right here. I'm telling you right now. The godfather of DeFi being part of this is a hell of a competitor right now to something like Uniswap. So I would definitely keep a close eye on this. This is not something to say, oh, you go out there and buy it. No, this is something you say, all right, there's a new alternative right now out there that's cheaper, it's faster, and the people behind it are the same people who are building some of the most popular and reliable products out there right now. Now, let's have a talk real fast, going back to the very beginning of this video as far as, applying some of your knowledge and putting it into the traditional sense. Something I noticed is Elon Musk. I don't know if you guys saw this. Elon Musk cuts the Tesla Model S price twice in a week. He has cut the price of this twice in 1 week. The question is why? All right, that's the real question. And are investors pissed off about this? When I see him taking and cutting the prices of these vehicles twice in one single week, this to me is not an act of desperation, but I think a strategic move. The Tesla Model S has been basically like a flagship when it comes to Teslas and electric cars. Now, the price chop was also done in China. My best guess of why this is happening is two reasons. They need to sell more cars, right? Obviously, and most importantly thing right now, to finish Q4 strong. And two, I suspect in 2021 he's going to announce a new generation of electric cars. I have a feeling in 2021 he's going to announce something that justifies offboarding and trying to get rid of Model S's. When you do these Model S's, I'm wondering it's going to be batteries, motors, or something. He's something he has a lot of inventory of that he needs to offboard. So he cut prices in the US, he cut prices in China. Investors obviously are like, what the hell are you doing? Or this is not a good time to do that. I think it's a smart long-term move, especially if he has a big announcement or if there's new models coming in for 2021, which obviously every car maker does that. So in my guess, it would be he is going to introduce some sort of a new model or some sort of a massive change to the current lineup of vehicles Now, switch gears just a little bit more. How many of you guys follow SpaceX? I absolutely I follow SpaceX. Okay, I was one of those kids who grew up in Florida. Okay, and I used to watch the space shuttles. Okay, that was like my thing. Astronauts. That was the thing I've always wanted to do. Is literally to go to the moon, go to space. So I am a space geek. SpaceX is something I've been following for a very long time. Now, the reason we're bringing up SpaceX right now is doing some very, very big things. It's actually changing our future. It really is. It's changing our future as far as jobs, changing our future as far as opportunities, changing our future as far as technology. This all is a very important thing. And the reason I'm bringing this up right now is Tesla is a public company. SpaceX is still private. Okay, they have not done a public sell for SpaceX yet. And I suspect, okay, if you think about how SpaceX operates, everything is long-term in the futures. If they can take a rocket and successfully land people on an asteroid and start mining an asteroid, that's massive. If they successfully take and land people on Mars, that is massive. If they successfully start building infrastructure on the moon, that is massive. All of which is a long-term game. All of which, okay, if they were to go public, let's say they go public tomorrow, you know that those private investors have seen him deliver. They have seen the fact that he has made rockets that are reusable. They've seen the fact that he has created a way to start transporting U.S. astronauts back into space, into low orbit again, okay? I'm telling you what, if SpaceX ever became public, if it ever was go public, that is a public sell that I would jump on a heartbeat because of the fact that everything about it is long term. It takes a long term for deliveries. I don't see those investors jumping ship. I just do not. There's no way. I am super excited for the day that ever goes public. It's anticipated that SpaceX will give you 5x the returns that you made off of Tesla, which can be pretty substantial, especially for the traditional markets. According to Baron Capital over here, SpaceX's valuation comes to about $44 billion. $44 billion for a private company. That's huge, guys. I mean, really think about that. $44 billion in a private company. 2017, they had a private sell, and the company raised $2.1 billion. If I could get $100,000 of that one day, if there's ever an opportunity, I would go through whatever hoops of freaking fire I had to jump through to get $100,000 of that. I would. I don't. If I could buy $1 million worth of that, I don't care. I would do whatever it took to get that, because I mean, think about that for a second. That's a huge. It's like owning a piece of history. You know what I mean? It really is. But I do suspect here someday in the near future. I'm telling you right now, in the near future, we are going to see more out of companies like Tesla and SpaceX as far as contribution, if not utilization, of blockchain technology. I have a feeling that will go public one day. I suspect they're already doing it. Blockchain technology is the perfect kind of technology to solve many problems, especially for a space program, especially for AI programs. Distributed ledger technology is tremendous for that kind of technology. But anyhow, listen, that's all I have for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.